Hello there. There's a real change in weather type across Europe at the moment. It's been very cold in the north and the west recently, but much milder Atlantic areas moving in. You can see on the satellite image this huge hook of cloud here, an area of low pressure that's going to be driving in, bringing the milder air. But as it does so, that mild air bumping into the cold air in place, we've still got some wintry hazards such as freezing rain and icy conditions across parts of France, Germany, up towards Denmark, for instance, as well. Holding on to some colder, drier, clearer conditions further east, but into Turkey and around the Black Sea, a few snow flurries over the higher ground here. Colder conditions than we've seen of late for the likes of Croatia and Greece as well. Head our way further west across the Mediterranean, and there's that heavy rain pushing into northern parts of Spain and Portugal as well. Turning much milder for the UK and northern parts of France during Monday, and that milder air sweeping in across Scandinavia, but on its leading edge, some fairly heavy snowfall for parts of Norway, Sweden, stretching down to Finland on Tuesday too. So more heavy rain sweeping in across Iberia, but we're holding on to some cooler but clearer conditions for central parts of Europe into the middle of the week. So here's the outlook then, and in both London and Paris there's going to be rain at times. Madrid should see drier conditions from around midweek onwards, and staying largely dry and settled for Rome too. Meanwhile, further east across Europe then, colder conditions holding on for a few more days, but looking largely dry in Kiev. Bye-bye. Hello, let's take a look at the weather forecast across Africa and the Middle East too. And for Africa, plenty of heavy showers through the central belt here, but particularly heavy downpours where you can see this area of cloud in the south. So that's affecting parts of Mozambique, southern Madagascar. We've also still got a few heavy showers lingering around southern and eastern coasts of South Africa too. Further north across Africa, a lot of dry settled weather here, but we've got fairly breezy conditions coming in for the likes of Libya into Egypt as well, so it could be a little bit of blowing dust around there at times. Looking largely dry around the west coast towards Dakar, for instance. Here's the outlook then for the next 5 days or so, and in Cape Town, after a cooler few days, those temperatures are going to be picking up through the middle part of the week. Nairobi likely to see some rain showers by around about Friday. Meanwhile, elsewhere in Khartoum, a little bit cooler than it has been of late, and in Lusaka, sunny spells and scattered showers and thunderstorms at times. Now let's head across the Middle East, and there's going to be a few wintry showers up across the Caucasus Mountains, but mostly dry and settled down across Syria, some fog patches lingering through the day, breezier conditions across the Gulf, those winds coming in from a northwesterly direction, and breezy and quite wet around the coast of Oman as well, because we've got this area of low pressure developing there in the Arabian Sea, just pushing its way inland, so it could be some fairly wet weather over the next few days there. Now here's the outlook. Most areas looking largely dry and settled, but we're likely to see some showers reaching Kuwait by Friday. Bye-bye. Hello, let's take a look at the weather across Central America and South America. And some heavy rain developing across some central parts of the Gulf of Mexico at the moment. You can see on the satellite image this area of cloud that's building, but that's mainly going to stay offshore. Could be a few heavy showers just spilling in around the Bay of Campeche, the Yucatan Peninsula, much of Mexico I think looking generally dry with some sunshine on Monday. Further south into Central America, and there'll be some scattered downpours for El Salvador, Nicaragua and Guatemala too. Into central parts of the Caribbean, a few showers cropping up through the day, but a fair amount of dry weather. We will see that heavier rain though in the Gulf of Mexico, just shifting its way a bit further eastwards through the middle part of the week. So we are expecting some heavy downpours in Nassau for a time for Tuesday and for Wednesday as well. Mexico City though looking generally dry and settled with temperatures in the mid-20s. Into South America now, and some heavy rain for parts of Bolivia, stretching right through into central and southern Brazil too. So particularly the area to the north of Rio de Janeiro seeing some heavy downpours. Minas Gerais state could see 100 to 200 millimetres of rain over just a couple of days. Further south across the continent, and temperatures once again on the rise for central parts of Argentina into Paraguay as well. So there'll be some downpours at times in Caracas and Cayenne as well over the next few days. Meanwhile, in Asuncion, those temperatures on the rise up to 37 degrees by Wednesday. Bye for now. Hello there. Still some wet weather lingering across northern parts of Australia. We'll take a look at Australia in just a moment, but we'll start further north into East Asia, and there's currently a cold northwesterly airflow that's piling in across the Sea of Japan, bringing us a few snow flurries, so feeling quite cold and wintry for Japan over the next couple of days in fact, and temperatures still well below average across eastern China, anywhere from Beijing right down towards Hong Kong. Some sunshine on offer here, but certainly those temperatures on the chilly side, just 12 degrees there in Hong Kong. Meanwhile, we've got some heavy rain affecting portions of the Philippines. Could be quite wet for Manila, for instance. Drier weather for Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand and Laos, but some heavier downpours for the Malay Peninsula. So if we take a look at the next 5 days or so, mostly dry, I think, in Tokyo. Perhaps a few showers there by around about Thursday, but there will be snow showers affecting many western parts of Japan. Now, heading across to Australia, there's that rain that's lingering around the top end and the Cape York Peninsula as well. Meanwhile, towards Western Australia, still quite warm for Perth, 33 degrees, but some showers further north. We've also got showers pushing across parts of South Australia, but largely dry for Tasmania and New South Wales. Across to New Zealand, and it's a showery, unsettled spell of weather. Those showers particularly persistent and heavy across the North Island for the next few days. Sydney looking largely dry, 21 or 22 degrees with some sunshine, but more downpours in Wellington. Bye-bye. Hello. Some cold weather is on the way to Central Asia over the next couple of days. We'll see a real drop in temperatures for Kazakhstan, for instance. Meanwhile, further south across India, a bit of a cold wave for the north of the country, so temperatures here below average, and we're seeing some fog patches developing too. Further south, we've already had some heavy rain developing in the Bay of Bengal, stretching across Sri Lanka, and that will push into coastal parts of Kerala during the next 24 hours or so. Tamil Nadu seeing the rain up towards Andhra Pradesh as well. Further north, most places looking predominantly dry, but that rain in the south could be quite heavy, bringing some localised flooding. So things are turning colder for Kazakhstan. Nur Sultan around about -3, -4 over the next 24 hours or so, but colder conditions arriving through the middle of the week. Largely dry and settled as we head further south for Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, across to Pakistan as well. We've got those fog patches sitting across some parts of northern India. Further south, mostly dry down the west coast. A few showers for Mali. They'll become heavier, I think, later on in the week. And there's that rain for Colombo up towards Chennai as well. But things looking drier for West Bengal and across Bangladesh. Just a few showers over the mountains there in Nepal. But here is the outlook, and you can see that drop in temperature reaching Nur Sultan around about -14 by the time we get to Thursday. New Delhi 22, 23, some sunshine, but some fog patches in the area too, and some sharp showers set to continue on and off in Chennai. Bye-bye. Hello. An Arctic air mass spilling across much of North America at the moment is going to bring a really wintry feel to the weather. We've already had recent heavy snowfall across parts of eastern Canada, the Great Lakes too, with low pressure still not far away from this area. It's still quite breezy with further wintry flurries up towards Maine and in towards Nova Scotia, for instance. Elsewhere, some more wintry flurries across the northern and central Rockies. And then further south, we've got this area of rain developing around the Gulf of Mexico. That's going to bring some heavy downpours to eastern Texas towards Mississippi as well. Cold, but mostly dry and settled at the moment across Alaska and British Columbia too. And that cold air sinking further south. Few snow flurries across parts of the central Rockies, but mostly dry and clear and cold down towards California into Arizona as well. Here's the outlook, and you can see that real drop in temperature for the likes of Calgary and Winnipeg over the next few days, staying mostly dry but fairly cloudy for Salt Lake City. Just 12 degrees in Las Vegas on Monday. Now there's that snow still lingering up towards northern parts of Maine and heading towards Nova Scotia, but drier conditions, just a few snow flurries around the Great Lakes. Some sunshine down the east coast into Florida. We've had some recent heavy downpours, could be a few more just moving into the south of Florida, and then that rain affecting the Louisiana, Mississippi sort of region too. Looking dry for New York, some rain in New Orleans on Monday and showers in Miami on Tuesday. Bye-bye.